This Wednesday marks the 150th anniversary of the assassination of President Abraham Lincoln.
And of course, more has been written about Lincoln than any other American leader, but we are still learning more. And Maureen Bunyan is here to tell us about some of it. Hi, Maureen.
Allison and Leon, we do know a lot about Lincoln, his politics, his famous speeches, his public life. But this anniversary reminds us we're not yet finished learning about the man. His top hat, his coat, the simple contents of his pockets when he died, all known so well. But much about the man remains a mystery.
When you see these things together, does this make it all more real or actually more mythic? They're real human beings with real problems and their own individual struggles, completely caught up in this world that hardly anyone could have mastered.
Lincoln's world was one of nearly unspeakable tragedy, a war that nearly tore the nation apart, the deaths of several young sons, a troubled wife whose family fought for the Confederacy.
He was constantly covering up for her problems. She had several of her brothers that were killed in the war. I think it probably made him more humane. He realized that there were people on both sides who were suffering.
Lincoln came from a family with depressive tendencies. The Lincoln blues, as it was known, was readily accepted in his time. Often described as sad, gloomy, even weeping in public, the challenge shaped him as a politician and a man.
Lincoln's response to his depression was to cultivate certain qualities that were a major part of his strength. He turned to poetry and literature, and he also cultivated his humor, which was his chief therapy.
But for generations of Americans like Audrey Hinton, whose great-grandfather escaped slavery to join the U.S. colored troops, it's Lincoln's triumph over adversity that mattered most.
He was being pulled on both sides as far as what to do with slavery and all, but he knew the right thing to do.
Let us give the last full measure.
I think Lincoln was the man who did the right thing.
This week there will be many commemorations of Lincoln's death around our area. Among the most memorable will be tomorrow and Wednesday at Ford's Theater, where Lincoln was shot, and at the house across the street where he died. Also at 8 o'clock on Wednesday morning, church bells will toll throughout Washington, as they did when Lincoln died in 1865. Allison?
Maureen, thank you so much. And as you just mentioned, tomorrow is the anniversary of President Lincoln's shooting at Ford's Theater. So tomorrow morning, ABC 7's Julie Wright will be at the Museum of Crime and Punishment. There's a new exhibit there on the assassination. So join us for her live reports on Good Morning Washington. That is starting tomorrow at 4:24 a.m.